It's the war everybody has been talking about. Forget about the fireworks that you saw earlier today on Sportswire Radio. These fireworks, I promise, are going to be tenfold because it's the war, as I said, everybody is talking about between the IMF and the foundation and WCE. And we see two of those members, what's left of them from last weekend, are here with us. And alongside one of those participants who's going to be in the ring this coming weekend to try to take his first non-RCW championship in over a decade. These gentlemen need no introductions, but because it's their show tonight and it's only their show tonight, they are going to get the introductions that they damn well need and deserve. So with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one. Global Sports Show from IMF Foundation. Oh, man. Black and Soldier GP and from WCE, the Interstate Openweight Champion, James Marshall, and our golden ticket winner, Darkfire, and the Resident Rockstar, Sean Jeremy. Fellas, how you doing tonight?
Great, Reverend.
You got it all wrong there.
Yeah, my head hurts, actually.
Said it's our show.
Even
No,
that, I'm doing great.
it's not their show. It's my show.
But you got
It's a
Soldier
huge headache.
with you, so I mean, he's part of the group. You got to say,
Yeah, hey,
They didn't announce us as the intergalactic vlog championship. We're champions. We're
I
champions.
guess Q Freddie Mercury and Queen, we are the champions. But we'll definitely get into that for sure. We have a lot of comments already.
That'll disgust me.
I'll make sure that we get into all that. But obviously, fellas, it has certainly been a wild week. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with Wrestling Championship Entertainment first. And I'm going to go with you especially, the resident rock star, Sean Jovi. Because I have to say, you know, we talked all summer. This was supposed to be the summer of Jovi. This was supposed to be where you do all the things that you've wanted to do. The journey that made you come back to Backyard Wrestling. To get your first championship non-RCW in over a decade. To do the things that you never dreamed you would do. But yet, I would dare say, this might have been one of the worst weeks of your career. Because, A, you lost not once, but twice. You lost for the IMF World title. You lost in the main event with the foundation who is here with us. And on top of that, who's behind you? The man that is like your brother, your best friend, Darkfire. You had to watch while he was senselessly hit with a chair and a concerto, not once, not twice, while you were handcuffed to do nothing. So the resident rock star, Sean Jovi, I mean, is this going to be now, instead of the summer of Jovi, less than zero worth of Jovi?
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yes, I lost to the foundation, but it wasn't with a little help from a little boy that didn't want to take WCE seriously. He just wanted to go in for himself and pay you little hit boys off or whatever happens. I'm pissed. I'm livid. That should have been my moment, and Crimson took it away from me.
I see the flag.
And you guys especially are just the biggest pains in the butt. Soldier, I'm taking you down this weekend. second, whatever weekend it is you're going down.
You've clearly
Going
been
to
beaten
go
a lot,
down.
Sean Jovi. You've
I'm
clearly
sorry,
been
Dark
beaten.
Pirates.
There's a lot on the line right now for
You
you
didn't hit him hard.
because
There is.
not only did you see your best friend get beat
I
up,
hit him hard.
not only did you see your longtime nemesis turn on you, you lost twice. You've got to face James Marshall coming up this weekend for a championship you've long craved. This is 1 year in the making, but you just mentioned Soldier GP, and if you lose to him, and this time your home turf in WCE in Wisconsin, you're going to be joining Omen and Soldier in the foundation. So are you ready to join the foundation?
Absolutely not, Tom.
Even Tom
That's
knows.
not
He didn't even give
happening.
him a chance to even say, maybe if you win. No, Tom already knows. Everyone knows. You're going to be wearing one of these shirts by the end of the second.
Yeah, maybe over his dead corpse, I'll be ripping that shirt in half and then
Before
throwing
you
it in a
showed up.
bonfire after the show.
I told you before you showed up that the summer of Jovi came to an end on the 12th. And that's exactly what happened. September 2nd, it's not going to be no different. You can pick whatever match you want. Whatever match you want. But it's all going to end the same. And this, right here, this shirt,
That's your destiny right there.
it's your next uniform, bro. This
That is
right
the
here.
ugliest
Check it
shirt
out.
I've ever seen in my life.
Because you're not going to be WCE's resident rock star. You're going to be.
I think someone turned the lights off on you because I can't see
Resident
that
rock star.
stupid shirt. How am I supposed to rate your shirt if I can't see it? Turn on some
Ooh.
goddamn lights.
Ooh, I think it's getting
Let's see
tested.
that ugly piece of junk. You're a resident rock star.
Has your logo on it.
Ladies and
Myra-
gentlemen,
oh,
it is
God.
getting interesting
Ugh.
already. I'm going to come back to Soldier and Omen in a second. But, James Marshall, you
Oh,
have
by the
been,
way, James, you're welcome.
I'm
Because
glad you
we
said that,
weakened him for you
Soldier,
for this weekend.
because James Marshall right now, maybe you really are the true golden ticket winner, because you basically have to have almost hit the lottery, because you got a Sean Jovi who right now hasn't even mentioned you at all. Nothing's come up about you. It's all about what Sean Jovi failed to do last weekend, and what very well in 2 weekends from now, his new fate that he could be facing. And yet here you are. It looks to me as if you're about to basically continue your run as interstate openweight champion and kind of prove why the resident rock star very well is not going to have the summer of Jovi
No,
he
I don't
long
blame
hoped
him.
for.
James Marshall's very forgettable.
Yeah. I hope you're really ready for me, Sean. I hope you're all healed up when our match comes up.
Again, you're welcome.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I don't blame Joey for... James Marshall's very forgettable. Hell, if I didn't remind him, he forgot about himself facing me.
Well, interesting. Now, you want to say something, Mr. Marshall, about that? Because obviously we have a big audience here tonight, and a lot of your colleagues, maybe some people even in the locker rooms are tuned in. You want to address anything toward Mr. Black and that match coming up here about 16 days from now?
You said you're coming up here at the second, right, Omen?
Yeah, you're right. You're goddamn
How about we add a little flavor to the match here? How about we make our match a tables match?
So hold on. Not only do you want to get your ass beat, but you want to get your ass beat in a match that I'm king of. I'm undefeated. Ask Soldier, ask Tom, ask anyone who's seen my work. Tables matches, Omen doesn't lose. I'm a modern day Dudley boy.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
But you want to do that to yourself? Fine, James. September 2nd, tables match. And like I said, September 2nd, I'm going to make you forgettable yet again.
You know what? While we're talking about match stipulations,
You want to
sorry
say
for
something,
interrupting,
Mr.
of course.
Jovi? Mr. Jovi, I see you want
Yes.
to come and chime in. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yes. You see, now while we're talking about match stipulations and all that fun stuff, Soldier, I still got a bone to pick with you after what you did. So how about this? Since you're coming to my area, instead of me going down to your little mid-federation, I challenge you to a match that I specialize in. a match that I may not have won last year, but I am looking to redeem the 3 Doors Down match. I want you in 3 Doors Down.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what? I want
3 doors. All
Here, you
3
can
must
hold
be
it.
broken for that match to start. And then it's pinfall submissions anywhere you want.
I want to give you guys this. You guys really redeemed yourselves from 2 weeks ago. And James, you know what? I applaud you for challenging me to the tables match. I really do. Because no one else in my federation, hell, any other federation, dares challenge you to the tables match. Look what happened to Forsaken, the only outsider who did it. Look what happened to him.
Well, he's had his own issues, but Mr. Black and Mr. Soldier, I want to come over to you because you referenced a few weeks ago, right? And obviously it was well documented that a lot of people in the public's eyes, in the court of public opinion, had felt that the IMF had a substantial advantage over WCE going into this past weekend over in your house. And now you guys go into their house 2 weekends from now, Labor Day weekend, at Wrestling Championship Entertainment's home in Appleton, Wisconsin. But I think Soldier and Omen, I think you can pretty much say that the court of public opinion was clearly proved that IMF won, WCE nothing, and I think there's even more pressure on WCE, especially after what happened with Darkfire and the resident rock star Sean Jovi. And, what do you guys think of all that?
Well, I don't think about it as a win, to be honest, because when Dash came to us, Dash beat Felix. And then
Darkfire beat Felix too, actually.
I would say you need to whip some sense in your son, losing to Dash and Darkfire.
Darkfire, how's your head, by the way? How's that head?
Not too good, you son of a biscuit.
This is a family show. We don't say bitch.
No, biscuit's okay. We could say biscuit. But the point is, sure, Darkfire beat Felix. Sure, Dash Andrews did. But the facts of the matter is that Jordan Nets retained the IMF championship. The facts are but the facts are what people remembered most were those 2 matches, the 2 matches that everybody's talking about right now on all social media, where you can go to IMF Wrestling 666 and RCW Rules on YouTube and watch those matches and kind of see how they unfolded, is that Foundation beat Jovi and Crenson, obviously with Mr. Crenson, what he did after the match, and Jordan retained his title over Sean Jovi. So to me, Soldier and Omen, it still stands IMF 1, WC nothing.
Unfortunately, Jason Myers, kind of knew the kid always blows it when it comes to the big match. Jason blows it, bringing home the RCW Underground title to IMF. It's obvious. It's Jason Myers for crying out loud.
The only title we took was this.
I was about to say, not so fast, though, Mr. Black, because it looks to me, if you go to Mr. Jovi's latest vlog, it looks like the IMF has captured an intergalactic championship, very much well documented in history with WCE, Mr. Soldier GP.
You know what? It's nice holding it, but you know what? It means nothing.
It
means nothing. It means nothing to me.
Wow. Was that our own mini?
That no one else can have it.
So
brings me joy.
Is that our mini?
You don't have it, Jovi, and it's not on your vlog anymore. That's what brings me joy.
Is that the mini Alundra Blaze moment, basically, where the intergalactic title basically is out of here, it's out of this world, and it's finito, gone?
You know what? We could turn it into a loser title, put it on Jason Myers.
Well, let me get to the comment.
Until they can come and take it, it's not on their show.
Well, you know what? We're going to certainly get to all that, and I want to come back to everybody, but I got a ton of comments here, and I want to at least give people the opportunity. CJ Black wants to say, better not catch anyone doing business with my good guy crew ever again. So did CJ find it okay that Mr. Crenson did business with you guys? Is that?
No. I want to say this with all
Yes,
due
sir.
respect. CJ's our best friend,
Yes.
but money's money.
We're hitmen for hire. It don't matter if you're a good guy. It doesn't matter if you're a bad guy. It doesn't matter if you're the guy
Or a wild card.
or a wild card.
Well, you know
If
what?
the money's right, we're gonna handle what problem they have. And it just so happened Cren's problem helped me get what I wanted. I wanted to fight Jovi one-on-one. I get that on the second because Crenson wanted us to take care of Darkfire.
Well, you know what? I think we're all looking forward to 2 weekends from now, Labor Day weekend. The summer has not started until IMF and WCE resume the war that everyone has been talking about here. Skulls, the Soul Hunter, says, hello, everyone. He also wants to say, Nicholas Soldo, has anybody here bought the Skulls Soul Hunter action figure? I mean, you might be able to find it on Walmart, might be able to find it at Target, maybe if Toys R Us is out there in one of you guys' towns, it's coming to a store near you.
I thought about it because when I walked past, when I went to Walmart, I looked in the garbage and saw it, and I was like, no, it's not my, it's not MJF or it's not Cody Rhodes.
I did get one.
You didn't get one?
You know what? Like I said, I turned a new leaf. I like to do charity. So I bought a Skulls action figure, and I took it to the hospital for this kid in a wheelchair. And you know what? That thing must be magic. He got out of his wheelchair just to throw it in the trash.
Well, I mean, at least
you worked a miracle. At least you did something right.
At least you were charitable, and obviously you got many fans out there, and certainly it was nice of you to visit one of your fans. I certainly hope one of your fans there feels better. Obviously, Darkron says, good evening, fellas, and we know that Mr. Kron is going to be paying a visit to Wisconsin, and he says, good evening, fellas. He also wants to point out that Nicholas Crenson chose the stronger side, and he also wants Omen to basically get involved here. He also says, Forsaken has his eye on you, Darkfire. You better watch out. You want to say anything about that, Darkfire? You want to say anything?
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I would like to say one thing to Forsaken. Bring it on.
Easy, kid.
He'll be ready. He'll be ready.
Guys.
He does never die. He never says die.
All right, well, fair enough here. Also, I want to get to CJ Black saying, you guys are right. I'm just a little heated since I'm still waiting on my cut.
You guys are terrible hitmen.
What
What cut?
You're not even giving your guy his cut? What kind of good guy are you guys?
Not good guys.
Hey, we're good guys. Ask CJ. He'll tell you.
Terrible guys. Absolutely terrible.
Come on, guy.
I'm a great guy.
I'm gonna try to be very respectful here because I'm gonna be very respectful here because we're trying to turn a new leaf on Sportswire. No, I'm not talking about CJ Black. I'm talking about the Anarchist Gunshot wants to say hello, and I say hello to the Anarchist Gunshot. Just want to say hello to
Get
Gunshot.
that comment out of here.
Okay, I just want to say hello to Gunshot. That's all. So that's all. Just want to say hi. Hi, Gunshot. How are you? Obviously, we want to make sure he's doing well out there. Yep, that's all. That's all I want to say. But Matthew Forsaken for you, Darkfire, says he'll see you soon.
And I'll be looking forward to it.
But are you going to be able to hold up? Because the beating you took, I mean, are you going to be even medically cleared? I mean, after what you went through? And even if you're medically cleared, what's left of you?
Half my brain, maybe.
But you're dealing with Matthew Forsaken. You're going to need every single piece of your brain to be able to deal with one of the most dominant, destructive, and vindictive world champions we've seen this entire year.
If there's one thing I know about Darkfire, never underestimate him.
No.
We're going to find out. That's the case.
That.
Well, we're going to find out. Now, you know, Mr. Marshall, I know that our time is obviously very limited with you. So I'm going to give you two things to say. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to address, do you have any words, any final thoughts for Mr. Omen Black before your match 2 weekends from now, and certainly anything else you want to say about defending your interstate openweight championship this weekend against also what's left of the resident rock star Sean Jovi, a match that has been now almost 1 year in the making.
Again.
Well, Sean, win, lose, or draw, we're gonna put on a hell of a fight.
Yes, we will.
And
I'm going to make a prime example of what I'm going to do to Soldier on you, sir. I hope you're prepared because I am out for blood. And James, unfortunately for you, taking that interstate title is not the only thing I'm doing. I'm making an example out of you to show Soldier what I'm made of. Because what's going to happen to you is the same thing is going to happen to Soldier on September 2nd. My arm raised in victory and the new interstate champion of WCE.
And Mr. Marshall, do you have any final thoughts or words for Mr. Omen Black in this tables match here coming up 2 weekends from now? You have anything you want to say to Omen before we let you sign off and get ready for your match coming up this weekend first?
You say you're the king of table matches? Well, time to dethrone the king.
Interesting. Short, sweet, simple, and to the point, huh?
I'll give you this again. Thank God he said more than 3 words. But
well,
now I'm going to bring it back down to size. James Marshall. There's a reason why they call me the king of tables matches. And you want to challenge me, but yet you get thrown around by a little clown in a mask, Craven Rage. Ooh. Now, you see how I'm much bigger, stronger, and more talented than Craven Rage. So what do you think I'm going to do to you? Especially in my match. Just be happy that I'm not taking your title. Well, then again, Sean's probably going to beat me to it.
Ooh, well, I'll tell you what. If you aren't following Wrestling Championship Entertainment, you should certainly be doing so at WCE Heat on Facebook and YouTube, WCEHeat.com. Mr. Marshall, I certainly want to let you run because I know obviously you are a very, very busy man getting ready for both matches, and I hope to see the fallout from it and have you on certainly after this coming weekend and maybe before 2 weekends from now when we get almost the war that we've never seen before in DKW, IMF, and WCE. And wish you a lot of luck, Mr. Marshall, and we'll talk with you soon.
I got to say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Hey, James, you're welcome for bringing it back in the main event.
So go ahead. Run along. Get your affairs in order.
Omen, if you don't mind me saying something.
On the second.
Omen, you know, having faith in me, since you have me as the favorite to beat James, you're the second worst person with the last name Black I've ever met. You just leveled up, buddy. Congratulations.
It looks like, listen, we are seeing some punches, some barbs being thrown on Sportswire Radio because we have seen a different Sean Jovi. No, and he's not talking about CJ Black. He's not talking
about
better
fucking watch your mouth. You're talking about CJ.
I like CJ Black more than both of you, and I don't even know the guy. So.
I'll tell you what. It seems to me that it's getting a little bit dicey here tonight. And James Marshall, we're going to let you run. And obviously, good luck in your match to defend your interstate openweight championship. And we'll see you soon here. And I got some comments here. People are certainly tuned in. Anthony Finkel's tuned in from Brooklyn, New York, checking in from Pizza Wagon. This guy here was like, oh, you want to hang out? I'm like, no, I'm talking with Omen Black on his show and resident rock star Sean Jovi and Darkfire. So you're going to have a slice for me. But I would say hello to Anthony.
Hey, forget about you.
And so
right here.
Let me finish. I wanted to address.
Yeah, don't be a pizza crap.
Listen. The point is that I wanted to say IMF and WCE, they're coming first. So Anthony Finkel can eat a slice of pizza for all of us.
I respect you, but don't talk my guy all wrong. Don't forget him.
He's the popular heel monster, and don't forget he's got what's left of the Intergalactic Championship from Jovi's Vlog. So how could we never forget about Mr. Soldier GP? Because Soldier's got the championship. That WCE, it's been there on their show. All the Jovi's Vlogs Sean Jovi, another loss for Sean Jovi this week. I mean, not one, not two, but 3 losses really this week. So listen, Soldier.
Honestly, I don't even know how fat Austin got at the show, so that's on him. He's probably fired and gone now because he lost the title when he wasn't even invited to IMF.
Well, you know what? Well, the facts of the matter is that WCE doesn't have the Intergalactic Championship here, but
You know what?
I should
For now.
for now, but I have some comments that I want to get to for now. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing good. I'm thinking about changing my wrestling name to Cameron Carnage or Ryan Hunter. Ryan Hunter is actually taking. Just one point though, I'll handle this for you, Omen. Ryan Hunter is actually taken in England. He is considered to be the John Cena of Morecambe. So Ryan Hunter, take that name off the list. CJ Black would like to say, change your name to the Resident Rock Star. No one uses it. Ooh, that's directed at you, Sean Jovi. That is directed at you there.
You know what? I want to say one thing to Jovi.
Yes, sir.
You know, everyone was surprised when I got you up for the Samoa drop. You know, it's kind of a metaphor. IMF's picking up WCE from the filth that it's been in. We're picking you guys up and bringing you up here just to knock you guys back down to there. You know, maybe even Gunshot will come work for you guys.
Hey, listen, you know what? You never know. And let me get to more comments here. So he also says that he's keeping the name Anarchist. So he'll say that that's what he wants to say. I want to say hello to our friend, Mr. Chase Wakefield, the Double B from the land of NFTs. The Bitcoin billionaire is going to be in the ring coming up for Uprising Wrestling September the 9th. Also, he was the former DBW, one of the I forget the championship now he had, but he was obviously the DBW big star there, and VTW as well. So I do love me a good tables match. Adonis Felio says, evening, Tom, WC and IMF gang. Adonis, yes, I knew you were going to say that. Also, I don't know why I'm going to do this here, but I'm going to do this before I get to James Taylor, and that's from the Anarchist Gunshot. I got a question for Mr. Omen Black. Would he ever have a match against CJ Black? I don't know why I'm doing this.
That's my best fucking friend. You better watch your goddamn mouth.
Yeah, come on, man.
That's why I was like, I don't know why I should do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to certainly do it.
It's not you, Tom. It's that dumbass having that question. We're best friends.
I figured that. I just figured, let me just,
We're all best friends. It's a triangle.
Wait, you have more than one butt buddy other than Soldier?
Hey, your butt buddy's right behind you.
Speaking of people that want to say hello, the Nemesis James Taylor. Anybody want to say hello to James Taylor? The legendary James Taylor, the Nemesis. Anybody want to say anything to him?
Hi.
And I also want to clarify on Mr. Wakefield. He was the Hub City champion, so I want to make sure that I get that correct. And he was the DBW Hub City champion there. So I just want to make sure that we clarified that. And I want to say hello to Chase as well. And Chase is going to certainly be somebody we're going to have on here on Sportswire very soon. CJ wants to say, "Watch your mouth, idiot." That's one of my best friends, and in caps locks, by the way. So I want to make sure
we need better friends.
That's what we said.
Well, speaking of things. Before I come back to you guys, as we're on Sportswire Radio right now, and my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. If you like what you hear from us, please give us a follow out there on YouTube at Sportswire Radio, Twitter at Thomas Price 2017, Instagram at the Sports Report 2021, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can listen to all of our content on sportnarium.com/player. You can follow the IMF on Instagram. Also at IMF_wrestling, YouTube at IMF Wrestling 666, Wrestling Championship Entertainment at WCE Heat, Sean Jovi Selby on Facebook, Instagram, also RCW Rules for his vlog page, Jovi's Vlogs, 150 vlogs. Congratulations to Resident Rockstar on that. We were over
next
600.
Week, 150.
Over 600 subscribers also on your YouTube page. I think it's like 608, so keep up the good work. But I'm going to have an announcement. Obviously, now that we're here, we're getting heated. I can see that tonight we're having some fireworks. But as crazy as this might sound, gentlemen, this is almost an early entree to the fireworks, because back tomorrow night, for the first time in over a month, the man that has basically been DOA, MIA, eerily quiet, that is the reigning, defending WCE all-out champion. He's the ruler of the yard, the backyard nightmare, Craven Rage finally returns to Sportswire Radio. He is back.
Oh,
Yes, he's alive. He is alive. He is apparently out of the rummage, and he's going to talk about anything that is on his mind. And apparently, he's addressing the entire backyard wrestling world. He's addressing everybody in WCE, IMF. His opponent, Bizzo Blaze, was also going to join us. And specifically, he's going to talk this war between the IMF and WCE. The Backyard Nightmare is back. And what do you gentlemen have to say to the Backyard Nightmare just about 24 hours from now as he makes his long-awaited return to Sportswire Radio?
holy shit! Craven Rage coming back on?
He's coming back, apparently. He's back.
Oh my god!
For once in my life, I'm happy he resurfaced.
Craven's gonna be on tomorrow night. Craven! Yeah! Holy shit! No one cares.
Sean Jumpy, did I hear you just say that you're happy for once? Your longtime nemesis, to pun intended almost, or no pun intended, that you're happy Craven Rage is coming back?
For one reason only. He is one of the souls of WCE, one of the original 4 pillars. So in order to beat the IMF and any other federation out there, as much as I hate saying it, we need Craven.
Wait. Did I hear this straight?
And I hate saying that from the bitterness in my heart that has been this past week.
You of all people, I've had you one in the past. You and him were in the same spot. Your wars last year were legendary.
Are the pillars Craven Rage, Zero Deus, Tyler Ark, and Skulls? Are those pillars?
I thought
that's a painful set of pillars you got there.
I thought Mason Black was one of the 4.
Oh God, he's the worst. Oh God, we have to. We have to address this right now.
Hey,
I might have to go vomit upstairs.
So Craven Rage is back. I'm still trying to process this. You want him back, but you have no idea. We have no idea what is on his mind. In fact, some people have said apparently a few days ago, I had heard that Craven Rage was considering basically being the lead role in the reboot for Thunder in Paradise. He is basically trying to go into the acting business. He was looking at a career in Hollywood. He was almost kind of looking at WCE, and he was thinking about basically exploring different options. And I guess now he's decided that he is going to return. He has decided that he's going to address the entire wrestling world. He's going to address the entire locker rooms of WC and IMF. And he's going to address, in his mind, why he truly is the Backyard Nightmare and the ruler of the yard.
You guys,
Guys, told to jump in.
They were remaking Mr. Nanny, and he's like starring in it. He told me that the other day. He's like, hey, I'm about to go film Mr. Nanny, and then I'm going to follow up with Suburban Commando 2. And then I'm going to go, and then I did hear the Thunder in Paradise.
I heard the Thunder in Paradise reboot. Yeah, I heard he was out there, and he was basically...
Another movie sucked.
Who was the guy in the room? Tommy Wiseau?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Yes.
He's a better actor and more talented than Craven Rage. Boom. Roasted.
Well, you know what? Apparently, DKW has lit up about this because Darkon would like to say Craven Rage and question marks. You know,
he's been gone a while.
I have to come back to this because Craven Rage, you know, if we think about this, right? You, Darkfire, and Mr. Crenson, who's, by the way, another person who's been very quiet right now, and obviously Mr. Crenson is supposed to join us here before we're off the air. You know, you were the guys that went up there to Iowa. You were the guys that were waving the WCE flag. But Craven Rage, who's supposed to be the biggest draw in this sport, Craven Rage has said he's the ruler of the entire yard. He's supposed to be the guy that everybody falls to him. He's the guy that basically everybody's supposed to acknowledge his run, but he wasn't there. You know, just like how you had Duck Soldier, Omen has called him out on Sportswire for months, and yet Craven's been...
He's done.
I don't know what part of the unknown he's in, but he'll be back. And honestly, he's a backyard nightmare like he says. He's an opponent I've met nothing like. So if he comes back and is actually serious and wants to put on a show and send off fireworks, by all means, I hope it happens.
He just said Craven Rage is better.
You guys need what's coming to you. And if Bob and I can't do it, Craven could probably do it instead. But I'd rather do it myself.
But does Craven still have? Does he still have what it takes? Though, as I want to know, does he have?
I mean, he struggled against Skulls, so that's a good question.
He struggled against Prince Charles.
Gold.
He struggled against the Killer Rabbit. I mean, listen, the one guy who was the interstate champ. Yeah.
His days are numbered. That is for sure.
Well, that's why people have been saying, what does Craven Rage have left? Because they look at it and maybe movies, maybe Hollywood C movies, that's the way to go for him. Maybe the Thunder in Paradise reboot, maybe Suburban Commando 2, maybe Mr. Nanny 2. Maybe that's the way to go because, as you pointed out, the resident rock star, he struggled against Prince Charles. He struggled against Skulls, who's now got his axe.
Hey, he struggled against the midget.
James Marshall.
And a Killer Rabbit, by the way. Can never forget about that Killer Rabbit.
And Tyler Ark.
The man-o-machinist. The man-o-machinist. I mean, so...
Okay, is it Masochist or Massacre? Because the guy gets his own name wrong every time he comes out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to let him address that, but I have something for you, Darkfire. And Matthew Forsaken's addressing you, so I'm going to bring this up for the worldwide audience on Sportswire Radio. Darkfire, let's make it official. In 2 weeks, Forsaken versus Fire at WCE. What do you say to that, Darkfire?
I'm down. I'm really down for that.
You down for it? Yeah. Do you think you can hang with Matthew Forsaken? Do you think you can hang with him?
You're damn straight, brother.
Okay.
He doesn't die.
Yeah.
He showed up for the show.
What's that?
He got Concerto 3 times and still showed up today. I think he is golden for this.
But you could make the point that, sure, he showed up, but those residuals of those concertos, we're not going to know.
Brain because you just accepted a match with Matt Forsaken. Somebody that went through hell with this guy. So I think those concertos is messing with your mind, man. You should chill before you put yourself in something that you're not ready for.
I want to address Kron's comment.
Sure, absolutely. This one
Tom
right here,
Bryce.
sir. Yes, sir.
Before this became my show,
Yes,
this was
sir.
your show, and you had the trash of Craven Rage on your show. And yet you see all these outsiders like C2K, Skulls, Killer Rabbit, Eric Mecca, who gives a fuck?
Bizzo Blaze tomorrow, who's making his return to the ring.
These guys are irrelevant, trash, calling out Craven Rage. And he takes the match, but yet someone who's actually important, someone who's relevant, someone who's talented, challenges Craven Rage. Where is he?
Wait, Omen, let me ask you that interesting point you make. Leave aside who showed and what. You say about the opponents that Mr. Rage has faced. Are you saying in a way that Mr. Rage is maybe hand-picking opponents to make sure that he can squash those opponents because those opponents he knows, kind of in a way to bring it back to Hulk Hogan, maybe creative control is what Mr. Rage has to offer, you think? Is that something you're addressing here right now?
Here's what I'm saying. Craven Rage picks the easy fight. Picks the easy fight. Guys who botch when they get into the ring. Guys who damn near choke themselves out with their own mask. Guys who show up one day and then leave the next. Some guys who just show back up for some reason now got a match with him. But yet, someone who's been steadily calling him out, calling out on his bullshit, calling him out on his lack of talent.
Would you want to see Jay Stereo wrestle Craven Rage? Is that what you're saying instead?
That match we'll never see because Jay Stereo is not even important.
Okay, I was just saying maybe that would be a match a lot of people might want to see. I mean, I'm just saying that maybe is a match that a lot of people would want to say.
I'm just making a promise to everyone. They can come back to this episode and see it. I'm telling the truth. I will face Craven Rage next year, whether he likes it or not. And by September 2nd, September 2nd, I don't mean to bring up shit between us because we're foundation right now. But, I always got tricks up my sleeves.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but can I ask you a question? I'll come back to Darkfire. I'll come back to Sean Jovi. I'll come back to comments in a second because I have a bunch of them. I'll get to them. But, obviously, I know you're going to be busy with Mr. Marshall in a tables match. Omen, I know that's your specialty. We'll see how that unfolds, certainly 2 weekends from now. But correct me if I'm wrong, on the 2nd of September, you are going to be technically sharing a locker room or maybe a yard room, whatever you might want to call it, when it comes to you and Mr. Rage. Will you guys be sharing or maybe meeting for the first time? Do you think that would be something that you might be looking forward to, maybe meeting Mr. Rage in the flesh for the first time? Because obviously that's a well-documented, I think, meeting people would like to see at the very least.
Here's what's going to happen. When I show up to WCE, I'm going to pick up the little coward, the little twerp, out and pick him up, drag him out of the locker room, and tell him, hey, this is my locker room. This is my yard. You can go change down the street at the McDonald's.
We're going to put him out of it just like WWE put The Miz out of his.
Well, you know what? I think we'll have to certainly find out here. I do have some more comments here. Darkron wants to address Craven Rage. He basically wants to point out that he's never faced Darkron, just saying. I think that was his point. Also here, Anarchist Gunshot would like me to have on Aaron Blaze. Well, I mean, if Aaron Blaze wants to reach out, certainly I would definitely be open to that. That's a name that's been thrown out there. So we'll do that. But let's come back to the current events. What kind of man handpicks opponents to make himself look better? It's sickening. That's CJ Block's opinion. I mean, that's what I was asking. Do you think that that's been, even for the WCE guys? I mean, for you, Sean Jovi, you've had wars, legendary wars with Craven Rage, and you're the only man to have defeated him in WCE. I mean, do you think that Mr. Rage has picked and handpicked his opponents, or do you think it's just who he faces? What do you think that's a point or nothing to it?
I mean, so Craven does what Craven does, and it's the same thing every month. I honestly hope Izzo wins. Because
you beat him in 5 minutes, though. But this goes back to what Omen had said earlier. I mean, you beat Bizzo in under 5 minutes, and now we're supposed to be convinced that Bizzo can beat Craven despite the video package? Sure, Bizzo's had a legendary career, but that was in past tense. People are going to wonder.
Honestly, I'm disappointed in my match with Bizzo because it went way too short. I took advantage of Craven Rage's distraction. I had to.
I understand.
That's unfortunate. I was looking for
a competitor. I understand.
The match was labeled as a dream match, which it was for me. I looked up to Bizzo Blaze. I've heard of Bizzo Blaze before my time. He was before I even started doing this. He had his own promotion. Like, the guy is legendary around these parts. And even though, I beat him in 5 minutes, it doesn't count him out as a competitor. The man's legendary. He's been around a long time and knows his stuff.
But the court of public
I
opinion,
think he's being...
The public opinion, yes. Though, right now is going to say that it's another guy that Craven Rage has faced that in a past tense. I agree with you that Bizzo is definitely somebody who can go, but it's past tense. That goes back to what Omen was saying. Skulls with the action figure. You got C2K who was challenging Craven, Killer Rabbit, Prince Charles. I mean, all these guys, I'm just saying.
But none of them have the experience that Bizzo has. And I know Bizzo's been doing his homework on Craven.
Okay, we'll find out here. James Taylor, the Nemesis, would like to say, I think CJ Black is my new best friend. He doesn't need the IMF guys anymore.
Quit meat writing. Quit getting on our coattails. Find yourself a new best friend.
Darkron would like to say Craven will piss himself when he sees Omen. Now, maybe, right?
I almost did.
Why would you admit that on the air, though, Sean Jovi, the resident rock star?
The guy's heavier than me. It takes a lot of fat to be heavier than me.
Well, okay, fine, but you're a big man as well. Okay, fair enough here.
He's the second biggest guy I've ever wrestled, so. It's been a while.
Anarchist Gunshot would like to say you really shouldn't handpick your opponents to make yourself look better. That's just a god-awful thing to do. Well, you know what? Craven Rage is going to be here tomorrow night. He's going to be here tomorrow night. I guess I'm going to bring this up. I guess for what reasons, I have no idea. But I got a good question for Sean Jovi. My question is, does he remember his
How
old
does
Indiana?
he know?
I was going to say, like, you want to answer for fun for a second or two? You want to throw it out there?
Why wouldn't I forget? They made Sean Jovi. They started putting Sean Jovi on the map even when he didn't deserve it. Indiana Championship Wrestling did a lot for me and got me off the ground. So, yes, of course I remember. I was a lifelong fan.
Okay, no question. All right, you know what? I'll move with that. ROEW goes back and forth with CJ Black, and I'm going to leave that for ROEW because I want to stay on the present tense. Let's talk about Nicholas Crenson because he's the guy over these past 45 minutes that has been we really haven't talked about here. I'm going to come back to Soldier and Omen in a second on that, but, Sean Jovi and Darkfire, you were the guys that rode with Nicholas Crenson from Wisconsin, that long journey to Iowa. You were in that hotel that had no breakfast. You were in the environment where you had to find a restroom because you couldn't do it. You guys were supposed to be on this trip representing WCE and Nicholas Crenson, the new Messiah, your brethren, the man that you've grown up. He had a lot to say in the latest vlog. And on top of that, he certainly did actions that I don't even think you and Darkfire saw coming. So you want to address Nicholas Crenson tonight because I am sure Mr. Crenson is going to be here very soon before I let Soldier and Omen.
I would hope so. That chicken butt better show up.
That traitorous son of a chicken butt.
Chicken shit. There.
So how do you think he's going to be received this weekend in the WCE locker room? How do you think
as a traitor, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to take care of business for Darkfire, but he went into business for himself. This was about WCE versus IMF, not Nicholas Crenson's little selfish needs and wants versus whatever the hell he had in his brain. It was a terrible idea for him to do, and he's going to regret it.
Oh, he definitely will regret
it. Hey, but you know what? His money was good.
Well, of course his money was good. He spent all that and left me with the deposit for the hotel. Do you really think he would have spent money to help this trip? I should have taken that as a red flag to begin with.
Hey, he let you borrow his car.
You want to respond, Mr. Jovi?
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I also have to address.
I was watching earlier today, Tom. You wanted to ask me something about the latest video that's been posted today on IMF.
Yes, I did. I was about to get to that. Yes, I did.
What are you going to ask me?
I was going to ask you, what did you think, obviously, with Mr. Crenson? And you guys, obviously, I would have to ask, and I would only imagine, is this a one-off deal between you and Mr. Crenson? What is the future of Mr. Crenson with you guys? Would you do business with him again? Where does this all go with him? Obviously, he certainly gave you some money. There was a handshake. Mr. Crenson had a few words with Darkfire afterwards, but from your guys' standpoint,
we've always said we are hitmen for hire. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a good guy, a bad guy, the guy. If the money's right, we're going to beat your ass. Plain and simple. If he wants to pay us again, hey, we'll beat Darkfire's ass again.
Just show us who. Just
so you think
beat their ass?
So do you think here, but before I move very quickly to a surprise, I got a surprise for you gentlemen. Do you think maybe Mr. Black and Mr. Soldier, Mr. Crenson going through those thumbtacks and taking that, massive, cuts he had in his back and certainly those light tubes he dealt with, maybe that was kind of his sign that, you know what? I don't want any part of you guys, and maybe I better find some cash around in my socks or my shoes and just make sure that, you know what, we can end off on maybe even terms. You think that maybe had something to do with that, or what's your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
I don't think he expected all that to happen. Even
even though it was a mutual agreement before the match.
Oh, but okay, but he went through the
So-
tax and took all that punishment. So I mean, certainly, I guess.
Deserves it.
He wanted to sell the fact that he was there for WCE. But ultimately, like I said, he paid us. We did what we did, and I got what I wanted out of it. September 2nd, I get to drop Jovi through 3 doors and then pit him 1, 2, 3.
So
And then-
can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
One more follow-up, if you don't mind. Do you think that when you arrive into the WC locker room on the 2nd of September, do you think that Mr. Crenson and you gentlemen will certainly at least have some mutual respect? And maybe even if Mr. Crenson has some fun flying around, you guys can certainly be, I don't know. What do you say to that?
It doesn't matter where we show up, especially with Cron and Forsaken. It's going to be the Midwest Fours locker room.
Okay, so Mr.
Everyone
Crenson,
better
but
get
Mr.
the hell out. We're not signing autographs. By the time it's all said and done, you guys go back to your shitty
Who would
lives.
want your autograph to begin with?
Oh, no, see, when it's all said and done, the team gets more members. The team
But-
get another guy.
The teams get another
Maybe you
guy.
get some autographs if you beat me, right?
It's all said and
You're
done.
just using me for the publicity if you beat me.
All right, so you know what? I want to get to a few more comments before I have a surprise for you gentlemen. Anarchist Gunshot, hotel with no breakfast. That place deserves to be burned down. What the hell? Who has a hotel with no breakfast? That's just stupid.
For once I agree with them.
I do agree. Yeah, that was
Big props for those guys in Indiana, wherever those hopeful former stars are. Well, I know one place in Indiana that's a very good promotion. It's called XCW Shelbyville. They're XCW Shelbyville on YouTube, XCW_Shelbyville on Instagram.
I've
They're
heard of
called
them.
up.
Remember, he
I
was
wouldn't
the
mind
best
going there. They're not far from
And
where my
Thursday
friends
Hogan,
Indiana
by the way,
are.
Fletch, by the
Yes, he's
way,
been-
last Tuesday announced that we're going to be seeing the foundation in XCW. So that's a place I definitely like. Crenson is the Benedict Arnold of WCE. Boy, ooh. Oh. How does hope Sean Jovi burns his Happy Corbin hat Crenson wears?
If he wears it. If he even
James
shows
Taylor
up.
likes to say, how much for an autograph? I'm needing more toilet paper.
That's tough. That's on you.
What's the question?
He said, "How much for an autograph? He needs toilet paper."
I think he's talking about WC or Craven Rage. It's not for us.
Okay. All right,
Next
fair enough.
comment.
Okay, and well, since he's dropping him through doors, would he ever consider setting one of the doors on fire?
You're stupid.
All right, so you know what? I've had enough. I've got a surprise for you gentlemen. Now, obviously, I think he has been the talk of the wrestling world, and especially in the Midwest over the past, I would say, 72 hours. And he is here with us live right now in the flesh and in the wound to explain his actions and to what he did to his brethren in WCE. He is the reigning, defending RCW
Thank God, no
Underground World
stupid
Champion,
hat.
the new Messiah,
Well-
Nicholas Crenson. Nicholas
Oh,
Crenson,
frickin'
how
time.
are you?
Traitorous
And
prick.
certainly the world wants to know why Crenson, why?
Oh, Tom. Everything I do is a little bit complicated, but also very simplistic in my motives. And Sean, you should know this better than anyone. When I target people, what am I trying to do? It's not of anything of ill will towards you or dark fire. And thank you so much, Soldier and Omen. You guys played the part perfectly.
All I hear from Crenson is that's all I'm hearing.
You putting a hot
But
dog
what-
around W? What the hell?
No, he's just too busy sucking your guys' wieners.
Jovi, when we first met and first targeted you that first time, what was I trying to do? Every time I have targeted you, what have I been trying to do?
I can tell you've been trying to light a fire under my ass. And you know what? That fire's pretty lit tonight.
Yes. Same with Darkfire over there. Darkfire, you have the ultimate opportunity But you also have to realize that this is a different game from back in the day in RCW. You want to be a champion, you've got to have that fire lit under you, no pun intended. And I'm trying to improve backyard wrestling any way I can. And if the best way to improve it is to pay Soldier GP and Omen Black to Concerto Darkfire, just so Soldier can get his match with you. With you, Jovi, then I see myself as, well, I see myself as a humble savior moving things along. Because here, I'm going to make, I said this when I explained my actions on your vlog. By the end of this Darkfire, you'll thank me. But I'm going to make an even bigger prediction. When all this is done, said and done, Jovi, between you and Soulja, when all the dust is settled, when this long journey you're going to be going on soon ends, you're going to be saying thank you to Soulja.
Hey, Prince, I'm just saying this. Our deal isn't done yet.
Oh, no, it isn't done yet. And trust me, I am expecting more. I know you're expecting more from me. So that is for sure not a done deal.
But I have a follow-up, Mr. Crenson, if you don't mind. And allow me, I know you have a match coming up against Prince Charles. I'll certainly get to that maybe. But why? I got that. Listen, and a lot of people are going to feel that way, but why go through all that trouble, right? To travel with Jovi, to travel with Darkfire, sit in that hotel with no breakfast, with the money that you had on you, to go through the punishment that you went through with Omen and Soulja. Why go through all of that? Couldn't you have done it a different way? I don't know, maybe traveled separately, that maybe came in differently, maybe did something else. I mean, why go through all that trouble and put your body through all of that trouble? I mean, sure, it might be an elaborate scheme, but it seems like there could have been an easier and a more different way. I mean, what do you say to all that?
Simple. I like getting knee deep in the action. You can consider me like the Hunter S. Thompson of wrestling. I'm going to go all in. Again, pun not intended. When it comes to a scheme or a plan or a lesson I am trying to teach.
And what's that lesson?
That in the end of the day, you have to be fighting for yourself. You can wave a banner all you want, but if you don't stand for yourself, you're just another pawn.
Let me though ask you a question. And I realize that I'm asking you a lot of questions and I may not get all these answers. I get that because you may not have fathomed what'll happen when you enter in the WC locker room. But are you concerned that when you go into the locker room, at the very least this weekend, that there will be some in the locker room that are going to certainly view you maybe as a Benedict Arnold, maybe as a traitor, and that maybe you're going to have to fear for your safety? Are you concerned in any way about that?
No, because anybody who hides themselves to such patriotic bullshit doesn't deserve respect.
And what do you think, though? So I got all that. I get it. And I'm going to get to comments. I have a ton of them right now because people are fired up to hear you speak. But, I mean, Craven Rage is coming back tomorrow. Now, Craven Rage, obviously, we've talked about maybe he was trying a career in Hollywood. He was trying to maybe film some sequels to movies, TV. But he's decided that he's coming back to address the backyard wrestling world. He's coming back to prove to the people why he's the backyard nightmare. And Mr. Crenson, I realize you might be closing the door. You might be leaving. I mean, this is interesting. I guess the Craven Rage question has asked Mr. Crenson.
What'd you do, Tom?
I guess he's walked out. I guess he's walked out of Sportzwire. Oh, he's put.
Oh boy, the devil's back.
I was gonna say this, Crenson. If you need some protection in the back locker room, if the money's right, the foundation will be there.
Okay, so my point is, obviously you've come to get a jacket for a reason. So Craven Rage is coming back tomorrow to address presumably your actions and everything else that's going on between IMF and WCE. He has been as quiet as he has ever been as long as I've known Craven Rage. What do you think Craven Rage is going to think of all this, especially with your actions and your working with Soldier GP and Omen Black? And you're on mute here. So before you do that, Sean Jovi, I know that you might have to run very quickly. So is there anything else you want to say? Then you have to run very quickly. I know you might have to go and do something quick. If you want to pop back in, you can pop back in 50 seconds.
Yeah, I'll pop in a little bit.
Okay, good enough here. He'll come right back. Nicholas Crenson, you're on mute.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now I hear you. So what do you think then about Craven Rage? Craven Rage, what do you think he's going to have to say about your actions and especially your deal with Omen Black and Soldier GP?
Oddly, I think he might actually respect my decision, which is a weird thing to say because, you know, Craven is the type to take any shortcut he can imaginable. If he was in my position, he probably would have paid you guys even more money than I did. So you would have had a boatload of money.
Money's money.
Now, for some reason, when you mentioned Craven, I had this weird notion to grab a flannel and put it on. I'm not sure why.
I was going to say, what was the reason of putting on a flannel? I mean, I'm lost.
I just heard the name Craven Rage, and I was like, hey, I got a flannel shirt.
But, you know, Omen and Soldier, I have a comment directed sort of in a way toward all three of you individuals. That is from the management of Wrestling Championship Entertainment, who you can follow on YouTube at WCE Heat. And they say the words, the Iowa screw job. I mean, you know, was it the Iowa screw job? Was it the screw job that's going to make Montreal forgotten and some? I mean,
we didn't screw Jovi. Jovi screwed himself.
I trust him crazy.
So you're saying Jovi screwed Jovi? Is that what you're saying? And that basically Jovi is the one to blame and he's the one to basically go along with Crenson, and after what they went through, I guess Jovi forgot about everything that Crenson put him through a few months ago. Is that what you guys are saying?
Did you see Crenson pulling a whole Bret Hart doing IMF instead of WCW? No Irish screw job. This is plain business.
You want to say something toward that, Mr. Crenson, about the Iowa screw job?
Like they said, it is plain business. I wanted to light a fire under Jovi. Like I said, when I handed them the shook Omen and Soldier's hand, and I told them how well of a job they did. Soldier challenged Jovi. Soldier sees something in Jovi because you don't pick a fight with somebody if you don't want to bring something out of them. And when everything's said and done, Jovi is going to thank Soldier for everything he's doing.
You think that's the case, Soldier? Do you think that the resident rock star Sean Jovi will thank you?
He's gonna thank me after I stop beating him up,
whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a follow-up, though. I mean, obviously the stipulation in 2 weeks is that if Jovi loses this match, he joins the foundation. But after the run that Mr. Jovi has had, I mean, and his lack of success here, especially in your place, why even want him? You could make the argument that why would he be worthy to join the foundation?
It's the numbers game, Tom. The numbers game.
Just being able to tell our resident rock star what to do, that kind of makes it fun for me.
You know, Sean Jovi, I bring you back at a good time, and I'm going to get to comments in a second, but, you know, I made the case that you've obviously had a tough week at the top of the show, and it was just referenced that if you lose this match to Soldier GP, you join the foundation. But I had asked, obviously, Mr. Soldier and Mr. Black about the fact that why would they even want you if the run that you've been on has been what it is? And even if you fall short this weekend, think about it. You could have had maybe one of the worst few weeks in wrestling history, I could make a case for. I mean, why would they even want someone like you? I mean, you have to join the foundation, but they may not even need you. I mean, what do you say to all that?
I'm very curious for their motives, but I really don't care because it's not going to happen.
I want to say this.
Yes, sir.
It's been known that I've had a business deal with Remington Stryker.
Yes, Mr. 49%, correct.
And, I get a lot of
issues I saw, by the way, on IMF TV yesterday.
I get a lot of hate from him from being brothers with Jordan Nets, being kind with Jordan Nets, being Jordan Nets' side, being his best supporter, and then doing foundation stuff. Like I said, I've turned a new leaf. But
you're gonna have to support him real well by this weekend because they're not beating us for a tag title. So me and Levi are gonna crush the Midwest Express.
I'm torn in between. But like I said, I turned a new leaf. I'm not the bad guy Omen anymore. I'm just trying to be me. The House of Wolves, as you saw in the latest video, Tom.
Yes, I did.
Me and the House are kind of beefing.
Yeah, there's some tension for the first time I've seen on IMF TV in quite a while, and obviously, I'll let you guys sort that stuff out, and hopefully, you guys will be stronger than ever. But I have some comments, and I'd like to get to them while we have a little bit more time on the show on Sportswire Radio. We are joined here by the resident rock star Sean Jovi, who will be in the ring 2 weekends from now, with Soldier GP, who was also one half of the IMF Tag Team Champions. He's also the Intergalactic Jovi's Vlog Champion of the world. And also here's Omen.
Because Omen is champion too.
And Omen Black, who I was about to say, is about the co-holder of the Intergalactic Champion. And also the man that everybody is wondering, why, Crenson, why? Our Wrestling Championship Entertainment, RCW Underground Champion of the world, the Nicholas Crenson, the new Messiah, who's going to be in the ring this weekend coming up against Prince Charles and more. But let me get to some more comments because people want to tune in and talk. James Taylor says, which is cheaper, IMF or WCE autographs?
A James Taylor autograph.
Not a C2K autograph?
That's free.
Or no, he wouldn't pay you to get the autograph.
No, yeah, Skulls pays you to just give an autograph.
Stop. Let's move on. Unless he's not tired of playing the game of knock knock, and then he says boo to Nicholas Crenson, and also he basically says it was savage from Nicholas Crenson. The Painmaker, Mr. Joshua Allen, says evening, gentlemen. He also says Adonis Felios, Crenson, don't get too rated R. Just like your two new friends, the Foundation.
Can you go back to we don't care about that guy. Go back to was it the Painmaker?
Yes, Mr. Allen. Yes, who's the special confidant to the champion. Yes.
If they need a hitman, we're hitman for hire. I'm throwing that out there.
Just saying, if Shade needs some better security than those two jokers you guys got. The money's right. The money's right.
So you don't think much of Club? You don't think much of Club? You don't think much of them? No?
We destroy them.
Okay.
Quickly.
So you think then that...
we don't have any beef for Ledger Shade, but if you want better security...
So I think if you guys were with Mr. Ledger, would be another 500 days he'd be champion, right? Easy in the bank, another 500 more days as champion with you guys with him?
He would never lose that belt.
He'd be champion even when he retires.
You know what? That could be an interesting conversation. But I will bring up Mr. Zero Deus, my boy Crenson, using your head. The light bulb lit up and it shattered. Jovi makes a good pin cushion. Mr. Crenson, do you want to say anything to your brother in Invector, Mr. Zero Deus? Anything you want to say to him?
Yes, Zero, we've got to talk about expansion soon and also cleaning certain things up. So I will see you in person very, very soon, Zero.
Maybe this weekend, possibly, right?
Since this business deal we had, Crenson, doesn't include Zero, your, I guess, confidant, Zero Deus, he's really got himself into a big predicament when IMF shows up. You are
Oh,
aware.
I know. Oh, yeah, I know. I've already told him any predicament he gets himself into, it's his own head.
Did you give him any advice saying that should he get into a skirmish or a match with Mr. Soldier, that would certainly be maybe...
He should pull out some money this hand here.
Well, I was going to get to that, but have you said, Mr. Crenson, anything that might want to change Mr. Zero's mind of any sorts if he were to engage in a particular type of battle or skirmish or match with Mr. Soldier GP?
Yeah, I told him be prepared to get hurt.
Well, that's a good answer. Let me get to a ton of more comments here. Mr. Painmaker would like to say, gunshot is always a mark. He's always a mark. And he says, anarchist, sit your butt down, punk. Keep on being a fanboy, Junior. That's his words, not mine. And he also says, let's be honest, Craven isn't Hollywood material. That mug, no? Well, I mean, I guess he'll have to find out what Mr. Balea found out when Mr. Balea had tried a career in Hollywood. So maybe Mr. Rage and Mr. Balea have some similarities there. Who knows? Mr. Taylor would like to say that Nicholas Crenson, when he got his final jacket, was also looking for more ketchup. And he also says, hey, Crenson, the phrase is real, DTS. Adonis Felios would like to say there will be hell to pay. Seems like a hint. The old saying goes, don't bring a knife to a big gunfight. We have here the IMF for wimps. That's from Drake Silverwolf, who, speaking of people that should really... I was going to say, speaking of people that should certainly move on down to the
Oh, you're the guy from, was it Big Time Championship Wrestling? A company that doesn't matter?
Who?
All right.
Who?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Hey, Omen, screw that striker chump. You don't need him. That's from Darkron, not my word. That's from Darkron.
That's my business partner, but you know what? I'm starting to believe you.
You're a good guy now, brother. You can say it. Is that toward Mr. Crenson, maybe? Maybe that's toward Mr. Crenson? I don't know. But that's from CJ Black. And Omen, I would just say, just laugh at this. My boy Tyler Ark challenges. Oh, he said he calls you Omen.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude.
You know,
Move on.
I
don't want the show to.
Our foundation fella, brother.
Listen, I don't want the show to
Challenge,
disintegrate.
person that can't get his name right.
Listen, let's not have the show disintegrate, because I actually have a good point here. And I actually want to bring this up related to tonight's show before I get to some closing thoughts and maybe a brief cameo from a guest. Maybe. Also, CJ wants to address, before it was to Omen, because he's not a bad guy anymore. Okay, thank you, CJ, for clearing that up. The IMF here, this is from IMF management. Remington Stryker wants an invite to come on and shut Craven Rage up tomorrow night. Now, can I answer this question? Can I answer it? My answer is, come on down, Remington Stryker. I think a lot of people would like to hear what Mr. Stryker has to say to Mr. Craven Rage tomorrow night. So if Mr. Stryker's not doing anything, why not?
Remington Stryker's not going to go on there by himself, because, see, everyone wants to talk to Craven Rage, but get in line. Everyone. I'm the first one to do it that was relevant. You are. And you called him out months ago, and you basically pounded on that door. If you could have pounded through that screen all those months ago, you could have did it. I mean, you were the guy. Listen, forget about C2K and Skulls, even though he's got that action figure. All these different people that were calling out. The one action figure.
He's got one, though. He's got an action figure. You got to give him that. But the point is, Omen Black, I mean, you were the guy that was like, look, mano a mano.
You know, I've seen a couple kids try to play with the Skulls action figure. They instead started drinking coffee because they didn't want to play with that fucking piece of shit.
I guess, obviously, coming to a Walmart near you, and maybe you'll find out. But I would imagine, Mr. Black, Mr. Black, you'll be here tomorrow night in some capacity to say hello to Mr. Rage.
Sure, it's my show.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to check if you weren't doing anything. If you had a few minutes to spare. I know you're a busy man these days, Omen Black. I know you might be the WCE Killers, But I just wanted to check, just wanted to make sure to see if you were available. Certainly, it's your show, Omen. It's your show. Just saying. Adonis,
Do I have to have permission to come on too?
would you want?
I can find room.
Hey, Soldier, you available tomorrow?
Certainly.
You got some time on your hands tomorrow night? Okay.
Hey,
well,
Adonis, who are you? Next comment.
all right, you know what? So we're coming up toward near the end of the show, and obviously we've run through the gauntlet here tonight. Obviously, Sean Jovi's went through a lot. Nicholas Crenson is certainly, a lot of people in WCE are going to say, why Crenson, why? And Omen Black and Soldier have been doing what they have been pretty much doing over the past several months, which is pretty much take names here throughout these different.
You're talking about Craven Rage too much?
Well, that might be the case. But you know what? I'm going to come back to Sean Jovi, the resident rock star. And I want to give you the opportunity, first of all, to address Nicholas Crenson. Then after that, if you want to say a few thoughts to James Marshall, and then certainly after that, if you want to give a few words to when he comes back, Soldier GP, and even as a bonus, Omen Black, you're welcome to. So before we move on to closing thoughts, Mr. Jovi, I give you the opportunity to address anybody you want.
First things first, Crenson, I don't like what you did. I kind of get it, but I really don't, and I don't approve of it. I think you need to be taught a lesson, and I'm hoping my boy right here can send it to you eventually. But that now, as far as James Marshall goes, yes, him and I have a match this weekend. I plan on destroying him and setting an example of what I'm going to do to Soldier in 2 weeks. In 3 Doors Down. So I have maybe lost a lot these past few weeks. I've lost a lot.
You have.
Truth be told, honest to God, I have. But that doesn't mean the summer of Jovi's over. It's over when I say it's over. And I say the summer of Jovi's going to hit its peak when I defeat James Marshall this weekend in 2 out of 3 falls.
Okay, well, you know what? I have breaking news. There is actually breaking news right now from management of Wrestling Championship Entertainment. So we've got some breaking news here, and I'll come back to the rest of the people. And this involves you, Nicholas Crenson, the new Messiah, because I have just received word that due to your actions in Iowa this past weekend, WCE management and Mark Packer, of course, Mark Packer is obviously always a favorite topic here on Sportswire, have announced that he will defend the RCW World Underground Championship against Prince Charles in a submission match. That's right, a submission match. Will Prince Charles Crab Legs get him his first championship, or will the new Messiah make another example of the young upstart? So just to confirm, it's going to be this weekend. Rise to the occasion. RCW World Underground title. Nicholas Crenson, Prince Charles in a submission match. Nicholas Crenson, I give you the opportunity to address Prince Charles, management, and your reactions to the news of your title now being defended in a submission match.
Okay, Prince Charles has got the proverbial back against the wall in this situation. Because, yes, he's been very impressive in that innovative crab leg submission. The Friday night special, I think he likes to call it, or Saturday night special. Some night
It doesn't
special.
matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Here's the problem with that. Prince Charles, that's just one submission. I've done this since 2004. I have the Mod Lock. I have Cattle Mutilation. I have the Wayne Brady Special. I have Steins Gate. I have the Ouroboros Clutch. And I have so many different ways to make a person tap out or pass out. So you are walking into a very, very unwinnable situation with me. And on top of all that, he's also got to deal with the problem that Dash is getting him into. So I'm going to just address my opponent Prince Charles with just one simple thing. How long are you going to let Dash Andrews drag you into his problems before you realize that you're better off on your own, kid? And then, speaking of, because I know it's going to be an easy victory with Prince Charles, after that, when worlds collide, I did offer a rematch to Jason Myers in a regular, good old straight up one-on-one match for the RCW title.
Got almost 1,000 views. I think a lot of people want to see it. Almost 1,000 views right now.
I am going to say this. If anyone out of everybody I've faced so far is actually a threat to taking this title, it is Jason Myers. But Jason, you're going to give me the best fight of your career, but you're also going to get the best fight of my career. So let's fight on September 2nd, and let's see who the better man is. It's going to be a war. Now, Prince Charles, sorry, but you're just another notch in the line of defenses I'm getting.
Well, we're going to certainly find out. And anything else you want to say, Darkfire, before I bring it over to the IMF guys?
Crenson? You're an a-hole.
Piece of
Love you too,
crap.
buddy.
Trash of the
Ooh.
earth.
And I want to say
That's the
hello.
effects of those concertos. That's
And
what
Speaking of
before I-
trash of the earth, look who came back.
And
Hey,
before
we stepped away to give you your guys' time. We were
Before
trying
I bring it over to Omen and Soldier for their parting shots before we get to closing thoughts, I want to say hello to Ace Reed all the way from Australia. He's all the way here in Australia right now.
Crikey!
Watching this. Yes.
Good day,
that is
mate.
Good day, mate.
Almost 1 o'clock in the morning. He's the host of the Wired Up podcast. I'd like to say hello to him. He's
Is
a
it,
good
man?
kid. Omen and Soldier, I want to give you the opportunity, even though I'm going to see you tomorrow. I know that for sure, and who knows, maybe I'll even see Mr. Crenson. But I want to give you guys the opportunity to address Mr. Jovi, Mr. Rage, anybody else you want out there in the world. Is there anything you guys want to say?
First of all, we want to. What was that girl's name that you always said hi to?
Anastasia Risnia from
We want
California.
to say hi to Anastasia.
Sure, go ahead.
Say hi. Hi, Anastasia. Right? Say hi, homie. But first, Jovi, you are outside your mind if you think you're going to beat me when I come down there. You might have been a
He's
good
gonna beat you.
wrestler. You might have been a good fighter back in the day. But looking at your list of people that you've fought in recently, they're nothing like me. I'm better. I'm stronger. I just have to put you through 3 tables before I can pin you. And when I pin you and I toss you this shirt and make you put it on, I'm going to make you watch as I take out your friend again. Because when I beat you, you're going to be our puppet. You're going to be our rock star. You're going to be our bitch.
Is that so?
Is that so, buddy?
You made me a pretty little t-shirt for me to be your bitch, huh?
No,
I would have asked for a refund on that shirt immediately because you're not getting me to wear that.
Not
You're
a
gonna
chance in hell.
the
homie.
moment it counts 1, 2, 3, you're going to put that shirt on. And then you're going to watch me destroy your friend again.
Never. Not in a million years.
I hope you're ready for September 2nd. Because
we will
last
be.
weekend was just a taste. A taste. And that's what we were getting paid for. Imagine what I'm going to do to you because I want to do to you. Because I'm not going to get paid for it. So what I do to you on the 2nd, I'm not getting paid for it. So it makes it just, I want to do it. So imagine what I'm going to do to you. And like I said, you're going to put that shirt on and watch me destroy your friend again.
How about this? If I beat you, you have to wear my shirt.
Didn't I already get into an argument with somebody like that?
You're going to have to buy a Jovi shirt if you lose. I'll wear your shirt if I win. When I win, You're gonna be wearing Jovi merch for the rest of your career.
Ooh, I think the stakes have been raised a
Wrestling
little
chance
bit.
$1 a shirt.
Let's have a merch war. If we're gonna have merch wars, we might as well have merch
A
wars.
loser wears
the
shirt.
other boy's shirt.
Wait, I got the idea. Is this a loser wears shirt match? Not a loser leaves town match.
If you beat me, I'll wear your shirt. But when I beat you, let's be realistically here. When I beat you, you become the Foundation's bitch. And you have to watch me as I beat your friend up again. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Hell, I might even make you beat up your own friend.
Ooh.
Never gonna happen.
Because when you have to wear that shirt, you have to do what we say. And I might just have you beat up your friend.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you can feel the tension. You can feel it cut like a knife.
That's what I'm gonna do. When I pin you, you're gonna crossroad your friend.
First off, get it right. It's the bed of roses.
Potato. You're still gonna do it to him as soon as I pin you.
You're gonna have to try your damnedest because I'm not going down without a fight, pal.
Doesn't matter. You're going down regardless.
Last weekend?
Well,
Joby, I'm one step ahead of you. I knew you were going to challenge me before you did. I'm one step ahead of you.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it is certainly, again, the tension. You can feel it, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 weeks of the buildup between Wrestling Championship Entertainment, the IMF, the war that has been going on like no other war we've seen this summer, and it's going to come to a head once again, this time in WCE's building, coming up on September the 2nd, Labor Day weekend. Listen, some people say it's usually the end of the summer. I say summer is just getting started. Labor Day weekend, when we see this war resume with Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, and Soldier GB in a 3 Doors Down match. And if Sean Jovi loses this match, he has to join the Foundation. We're also going to see Nicholas Crenson and Jason Myers in a rematch for the RCW World Underground Championship. We're also going to see Omen Black, who's going to take on James Marshall for the Interstate Openweight Championship in a tables match. That is Omen Black's specialty. Yes, sir.
I ain't challenging for that piece of crap mid-card title.
Could be Interstate title. Could be.
I didn't even get my final.
I was going to give it to you. I just wanted to announce the card. Go ahead.
All right.
I was gonna say Dark Fire and Matthew Forsaken.
That's why I pay you.
Yes, you do. Well, I was gonna mention Dark Fire and Matthew Forsaken. That was the next match.
You deserve a promotion.
I think at this point, Omen, you could take the mic from me. Which, by the way, take the mic from me. The floor is yours.
September 2nd, I get to finally make WCE my yard. I finally get to take on the measuring stick, James Marshall. The Fool challenges me to my own match, tables matches. Okay. Then I get to see the coward Craven in person. Like I said, Craven Rage better keep the eyes on the back of his head wide open during his match with Remington Stryker. It's wrestling. People get jumped all the time. That's all I got to say. You know what? And I want to say one thing to one person. Ryan Romantic of Levi McDaniels Fight Promotions. I just want you to be ready, son. Now, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, and I respect you, kid. But Ryan Romantic, that LMFP world title is coming to me.
I'll tell you what, it looks like Omen Black's going to hold another world championship and another feather in his cap. But I learned one thing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that the IMF and WCE, this war is not over. And it's not over by a long shot. And these individuals are not going to be friends anytime soon. They're not going to be singing Kumbaya. They're not going to be going to Cracker Barrel, Waffle House. They're not going to be doing anything of any sorts that's going to make them friends. They're going to be, if anything, much better enemies, and enemies for a long, long time ahead. And we're going to certainly find out the fallout, plus rise to the occasion this weekend. You also see more IMF coverage on their Instagram and YouTube pages. Instagram is IMF_wrestling. Also, YouTube IMF Wrestling 666, almost at 1,400 subscribers. So please go out there and make sure you follow our friends at IMF and WCE at WCEheat.com, WCE Heat on Facebook and YouTube as well. So let's get to closing thoughts here. And I'm going to go first with the resident rock star, Sean Jovi, and also Dark Fire himself. And guys, I'm going to give you any closing thoughts, anything else you want to plug, share, say. The floor is yours, and fire away.
Excuse me. Well, first of all, thanks for letting us be on your show. It was a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And yeah, Cranston, once again, you're an a-hole, but I love you.
You guys are get your bromance off of me.
Okay,
Seriously.
well,
See,
okay.
those chair shots really did a number on him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think they did. My head still actually. I got a headache from hell. Really, for real, man. It fucking hurts right here, dude.
You know what? Just be happy
Ibuprofen,
that
bro.
Master Second's not coming for that golden ticket.
anything else you want
Oh.
to say, Mr. Jovi, as well? Anything else that you'd like to say?
Yeah. The next few weeks, the summer of Jovi will be mine. I plan on taking that title from James Marshall. I plan on walking into When Worlds Collide as that champion who carries that banner for WCE, who is in for a fight of his life against Soldier Graham Pricks. And I am going to prove that WC and Sean Jovi are the superior product and the superior brand to Backyard Wrestling.
That's right. That's right. You go, Jovi.
You can follow Sean Jovi on Sean Jovi Selby Facebook, over 1,200 followers. RCW Rules. Also on YouTube, over 600 subscribers, closing in on that 150 vlog milestone. Also Instagram as well, Sean Jovi Selby. We will see if he wins his first championship non-RCW in over a decade this weekend. Rise to the occasion. Certainly stay tuned if it'll be the summer of Jovi. And Nicholas Crenson, there people are going to say, why Crenson, why? But we're going to give you closing thoughts, and we're going to certainly look forward to the announcement that we just saw on WCE's page that you are going to be defending your championship against Prince Charles in a submission match, and we'll see you in the rematch the following weekend against Jason Myers. But for now, I'm giving you the floor, and I'm giving you some closing thoughts.
Correction, that's a couple weekends after that, because September 2nd is like 2 weeks after
I
Saturday.
said, it's 2 weekends. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Charles, like I said before, you might have one move in your repertoire that can get you a submission victory. And it is impressive that you were able to come up with a new idea. But one new idea is not going to get you a championship, kid. I'm going to stretch you. I'm going to break you. I'm going to snap your fingers. I'm going to choke you like the bitch you are. And I'm going to retain. And then I'm going to go to war with Jason Myers. And when all is said and done, the man that walks out of that championship match will carry the RCW World Underground Championship, and we'll have to improve that title and take the next step. So, Tom, the
Yes,
one
sir.
thing I will say to everybody watching WCE and IMF, keep a close eye, because everything is about to change very, very soon.
Interesting closing thoughts. Rather, very, very interesting closing thoughts from the new Messiah, Nicholas Crenson, the RCW Underground World Champion, who's going to be in the ring this weekend and on Labor Day weekend. We'll have to find out if it'll continue where his luck continues to be as good as it has ever been in a long time. And certainly, last but certainly never least, it is the Foundation who have certainly proven themselves and some here. Have they continue? Will they continue to be the WCE killers? We'll find out Labor Day weekend. But in the meantime, I give closing thoughts to Soldier GP and Omen Black, who, by the way, are the intergalactic Jovi's Vlog champions.
To the trash.
Gentlemen, you want to say anything on your closing thoughts? Anything else you want to plug? The floor is yours.
I'm going to let you gentlemen go. A good day.
Okay.
Good. No one wanted him on here anyway.
Damn prick.
Jovi, you keep name calling. That's very, very sad. You keep calling me, what is it, Soldier Grand Prick? That's cute, man. I mean, you're as dangerous as Kenny G. So I hope you're prepared to take this ass beating that I plan on giving you on the 2nd. I really do.
Try me.
I got nothing to say to Jovi or Darkfire. James Marshall, just count down your days till September 2nd. Craven Rage, I'll see you tomorrow. And I guarantee me and you're going to face off next year.
Oh, well, you know what? That's going to be a face-off I'm looking forward to seeing, and I'm looking forward to more of the IMF and WCE. But before we get off here and get off the air tonight, I have to let somebody say hello for 60 seconds. I can't resist because he always has to say something. It is Mr. James Taylor, who is our final thought for tonight because he was waiting. He was dying to say something. So, the Nemesis James Taylor, I'll give it you the floor very quickly.
Very quickly. Clearly it wants to be let's wrap it up and get out of here type thing. I understand that. Everybody's real busy. Good to see you guys. But, I feel Mr. Sean Jovi is a little bit outnumbered. And I feel bad for you, Jovi. You backed up. You did what you had to do. I watched the Outcast. I've seen everything that happened, and it just made me sick. Because DTS is really what's on the back of his sorry-ass shirt, and that's Don't Trust Soldier. It's all about Soldier GP. Him trying to have the spotlight put on him because he thinks his shit don't stink. Jovi, if James Taylor ever finally shows up, whenever he does, hang on, I'm talking, kid. I only got 60 seconds, right? If
I'll give you 90. I'll give you 90.
The opportunity is if you need some real permanent backup, the Nemesis James Taylor's got your back because after I seen what you went through with those two big bastards, I got nothing but respect for you. So my hat's off to you. And if you need some real help,
Thank you.
Here's the big guns right here. Here's the cavalry right here because those two big bastards ain't got what it takes to survive in backyard wrestling. They think that they're the kings of the yard. They think every yard they show up is theirs. I tell you what, guys. Just like someone who we all know is famous because everybody thinks I'm him, I'm going to quote something he said a long time ago.
You've been doing that.
Ass up in your backyard. I'll beat your ass up in my backyard. Hell, I'll whip your ass in anybody out here's backyard because any yard that I show up in is automatically mine. And you know why? Because there can't be no other way.
All right. Well, the Nemesis James Taylor had his kind of final thoughts there. Almost reminds me of that final thought. And he's on Instagram and YouTube. Taft
I might have to buy a
Taylor
shirt now.
on Instagram. Are you gonna buy a shirt?
Yeah, quit
You know
flex.
what?
You ain't got nothing to flex.
Do you have
I didn't
anything?
see nothing.
I got more cut than you.
Less fat too.
It goes the largest arms. It's the largest arms in all of professional wrestling. Forget about Craven
His
Rage.
legs ain't as long as his arms.
Forget about Craven Rage's arms being as long as everybody. And also Skippy the Evil.
He
By the
wants
way,
to bring up how we steal the spotlight. James, that's all you do.
Skippy the Evil Clown says James versus Omen and Soldier. I want to see it.
He ain't ready. Look, I've been down with that dude since March.
No, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're gonna
I
have
have to wait until July 6th.
No,
Well, I'll
you're
tell
gonna-
you
you're
what,
gonna have
ladies
to
and
watch
gentlemen,
night two
we're
to
going to
fight
find out tomorrow night. Be here or be square, because Craven Rage, the reigning defending Backyard Nightmare all-out champion of the world, is going to be here live 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, to address James Taylor, to address Omen Black, Soldier GP, and everybody else out there in the world of backyard wrestling. And some of the people here tonight very well could be there tomorrow night. That's why you're going to want to tune in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, the man behind Sports.
One last
Absolutely. Be my guest.
TBW, reach out to us and set up the match between me and James. I'll drive down to fucking Tennessee. I'll drive to Tennessee to beat your ass.
Well, can I actually address that? Monday night, Atomic Titan, right on after Monday Night Raw.
Gladly drive down there and hand you an ass whooping.
So if you want, no, I'm going to address this.
New shirt, new attitude.
I'm going to address this Monday night. Atomic Titan is here right after Raw. I'll bring that up. I will bring that up, fellas. I will bring that up.
I'll drop 500 pounds of shit in the middle of that ring. No problem.
He wants to be your backup. Problem is, he's got to show up.
I'll tell you what. Well, you guys better show up tomorrow
James
night,
Taylor
because
popcorn.
Craven Rage is back live for the first time in over a month. And Monday night, Atomic Titan. I'll ask that question. James Taylor and Soldier GP and TBW.
We got mini
tuned.
Brock Lesnar.
James Lesnar.
I'm gonna get in trouble for beating up a midget.
Well, you know what? Hey, at least Gage Flair can't certainly say he could be the next Brock Lesnar. It could very well be. Maybe James Taylor, the nemesis. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're on Sportswire Radio, I'll be back for sure tomorrow night with Craven Rage. Once again, have a great night. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And the number one local radio station that is Sportswire.